This is the Mineola Nature Preserve. This nature preserve is in my hometown of Mineola, Texas. This nature preserve is like hundreds of others across America. These preserves are vital to our environment and the preservation of nature, which includes animals and plants. Let me tell you more about our nature preserve and why it is important to fund and protect these areas. Mineola Nature Preserve on the Sabine River encompasses 2,911 acres to East Texas species of critters that can fly, walk, crawl, and slither, and home to more than 193 species of birds, numerous wildlife. According to an article in November, Texas Park and Wildlife magazine, this preserve is in the top 15 city parks and nations for its size. Well, with the nature preserves around the state of Texas, you get to preserve the nature like the name says, but it also houses many animals. This one has 2 brown bears, hogs, cattle, deer. It also has alligators. So it's got a whole bunch of bees because they sometimes sell the honey to keep this place going. They got owls. This place also has buffalo. The American buffalo is extinct in the wild. Out here, it's got a chance to reproduce, and maybe one day we'll be able to reintroduce them into the wild. And they got a whole bunch of fish in the pond. Also, animals in nature preserves have a 50% chance more of surviving in the habitat created for them than they have in the wild. But behind me, part of the Mineola Nature Preserve is called the God's Hand. If you get an aerial picture of this, should be one coming up on the video in a moment, you can see it's shaped like a massive hand. The long trails make the fingers from right at the base where that pond is forms a palm. Those trails in those trees, plenty of animals live, I know that much. 2016 Living Planet report by the World Wildlife Fund. They reported a 58% decrease in wild vertebrates from 1970 to 2012. Since 2012, the average annual decline was 2%. The number one cause of this decline is habitat loss. Habitat loss is the main problem for 48% of threatened freshwater species. There's a freshwater lake right there. Population of land animals has fallen 38% overall. Land animals in protected areas have declined less than half in the unprotected areas. In conclusion, you can see by the pictures I've shown you and by the information I have provided why it is important to protect and fund these nature preserves. Mostly because they protect animals and plants. Some that have become extinct in the wild flourish in these nature preserve habitats. Also, they provide much needed oxygen to us, as well as give learning experiences to children and adults alike, and show us why we need to protect nature for the future. It also shows us why it also gives us a peaceful place to go when we are angry or when we just need to calm down. It also gives us some good exercise with all their walking trails.